The Civil Society 20 C20 has presented its policy recommendations to President Cyril Ramaphosa ahead of this month's G20 Leaders Summit. The proposals, developed by 3,000 civil society groups worldwide, urge global action on inequality, debt and climate justice. However, with the G20 presidency returning to the global north next year, there are concerns about whether these priorities from the global south will remain a focus. Newzroom Afrika's Ntokozo Khumalo explored this issue from policy officers in Hatfield to the streets of downtown Pretoria.
It's official, the Civil Society 20's 2025 policy pack has been released and formally handed over to President Cyril Ramaphosa. The C20's 14 working groups, made up of more than 3,000 organizations from across the world, made their message clear: tackle structural inequality and make sure no one is left behind. Issues prioritized are rooted in the realities of communities most affected by exclusion and crises, including people living with disabilities, the youth and women.
There's a call for establishing a G20 debt workout mechanism. This should include equitable International Monetary Fund and World Bank governance reforms. It should protect domestic policy and respect cultural space. A call to cancel or restructure unsustainable debt, especially debt tied to health and climate emergencies, and this links to fiscal justice demands. It's a call to promote debt for climate and debt for development swaps, so redirect debt payments towards local equitable investment, green infrastructure, education, health, in debt-created finance for public good. Replace loan-based systems with grants for health, education, climate and care.
While the Civil Society 20 faced some funding limitations, its shepherd says that it did what it could with what it had to make sure as many citizens in the global south are part of the policy setting process.
We did not allow the absence of resources to take us to every nook and cranny of the country through direct interaction, to disable us from ensuring that we engage and we connect. Because we say technology divides us, but it also connects us. So we use technology as a platform to get those particular voices, because there were also engagements that were happening on the ground.
But just a few kilometers away at the heart of Pretoria's informal economy, many say the G20 and C20 still feel like distant concepts. Mother of three, Johanna Malapeli, who works as an informal hair trader in downtown Pretoria, says while she has heard of the G20, she's not paid much attention to it.
I'm not sure that it's going to help us, because already we are suffering, we are at the streets and we are working for our kids.
Joanna says she never received any notice or invitation to share her views with the C20. Her wish: a better environment for micro businesses to grow and for women like her to raise families with dignity.
Every day when we wake, Metro is chasing us every day, and we have to support these kids. We've been supporting since from childhood, and our kids supposed to go to universities. How are we going to take care of them if they are chasing us? Our problem is only that now we don't have place to work. We are outside and we are widowers. Some of us, we are unmarried. So how are we going to support our kids if it's like that? If this G20 is going to help us to create jobs and to take our kids to school and to make maybe business grow, it will help us.
For 24-year-old film graduate Thabiso Phophi, the promises of global summits haven't yet reached the pavement.
I've never paid too much attention on it, because I've realized one thing, that even if they can help this thing, the question is, are they going to include us also now, or they are just doing for themselves?
Phophi's priorities echo the same ones listed in the C20's policy pack: jobs for the youth, better schools and hospitals, and safer streets.
Make jobs for youth, build more hospitals, schools, reduce this unemployment rate because it's very high. And then reduce the crimes around these 9 provinces,
One street photographer says the G20 has failed to capture his interest or promise of a better life.
Not for me, G20, no, it's not working for me. Because I don't think I believe in G20 because I heard that G20 can my Illuminati. So for me, no, it's not beneficial. Our country, they sold it out because of the minerals and stuff, and then they took advantage of it. So I don't think G20 is those seven Latin as a South African.
A sign of growing disconnect between global policy debates and the everyday struggles of ordinary citizens. The C20's Sherpa admits sustaining momentum will be a challenge, especially with the next G20 presidency returning to the global north.
It does not change us as civil society. It also requires us to even be much stronger and much closer and be united than we were, because the challenges we may experience around the G20 going in America, we must already create bridges, because the next G20 host is going to be Great Britain in 2027. So those things that we may not be able to achieve because of the political choices that the American government may make should enable us to already be forward-thinking in terms of bringing them back into the agenda of the G20 2027.
The chair of the C20, Thulane Jefuta, says it's all about ensuring the policy proposal becomes reality.
We are ready to get into our own summit, which will be attended by all countries of G20 and all civil society organizations that were participating in our working groups. We are ready now to even get to the point where we can go and participate meaningfully into the G20 Social Summit.
And that means staying visible and vocal in every national and global policy conversation.
Our participation in the national dialogue, various organizations that participate in the C20 also are part of the national dialogue processes. We must also take them to that particular platform as well. So, iskhathi sokudlala sesiphelile. Manje, because Rekaufela, as the motto says, we must demonstrate that indeed we are together to ensure that we build a better world.
However, the citizens on the streets say they are tired of hearing the same old tune with no real action that improves their livelihoods.
As a youth, I will be happy to hear that from President Cyril. I say Tenzing Asireng as a leader of this nation, so that we can be proud of him. If you can ask anyone around here, I don't know what I'm proud about like our president. I wonder how does he feel?
I think they must support our business, maybe with funds. And the best thing is to take our schools to our children to school. He must create this job for our children, because our kids are smoking now, so we have a problem.
From Hatfield to the hustle of Church Street, the gap between global summits and the street-level struggles remain wide. As the G20 leaders prepare to meet later this month, the question remains, will the voices of the Global South still be heard once the spotlight fades? The G20 Leaders Summit takes place on the weekend of the 22nd of November. From Pretoria, counting down to the G20, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo for Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405.